we are now live. This is the Diecast December 2022 live stream. See if we get some people joining. I'm gonna do what I usually do and go on the laptop and open up the what's it called? Open up the video on there too. Oh, I keep doing that and then I end up oops. Oh wait, how's our sound? There's like a delay or something. This is where I mute this so I don't hear myself talking twice. Okay, that's a delay. I just had somebody here and they left. Wow. I'm sure they're wondering why I was talking to myself. All right. This will be a shorter one. I didn't do one of these last month. I had some other stuff going on, so I just didn't get around to it. Yeah, there's definitely a delay. I know there should be a delay, at least on the other end, but it's weird kind of seeing it from my end, like when I'm talking on here with the phone, and then when I have the same video open up on my laptop, just seeing the delay on there, so. You look, see, I'm still, yeah, there, now it's catching up to me filming the laptop screen. It's really weird how this works. I've done like maybe what, like 6 of these at this point, and I'm still just getting used to like the logistical stuff and everything. I don't even know, when did I announce I was doing this stream? Probably like only 2 days ago. I keep like not learning my lesson from previous times where I say something like less than 48 hours in advance, and then it ends up being like this whole thing where I'm like, sometimes I'm like 15 minutes in and still I don't have any activity going on. I'm sure I just jinxed myself just now for that, but yeah, this is just, I don't even have any of these cars out for a reason. I mean, I have some holiday cars right here that will eventually making their way to the windowsill. I did acquire quite a few recently. Well, not these two. These two I've had for a little while. My Corvette Grand Sport and my Porsche Taycan. I've actually had the Taycan for about a year or two the day, maybe a day or two ago. If you go back to my Hot Wheels hunting videos, I think there's a couple of December 2021 videos. Wow, that felt like it was so recent. Wow, bizarre. But this was definitely in that. This was like an early December find from last year. Ironically, I found the Audi version. Well, okay, so there's the Porsche Taycan, and then Audi makes their own kind of electric sedan called the RS e-tron, which is the same thing as the Taycan, but it's an Audi and not a Porsche, obviously. But that's over here in gray. I ended up having to fix the wheels on it, just because it was the one was kind of like rubbed off a little bit. And I thought, I'm not going to waste time having to like go back and like dig around the dump bin a second time. Actually, it was a third time that week. And just to find like a duplicate car that I may not even want. So, yeah, it's like impossible to see with my lighting here. But yeah, there's the e-tron. I gotta focus. There we go. Taycan. So, pretty much the same exact shape and profile. But obviously one's a Porsche and one's an Audi, so you have that difference, of course. So, yeah. I was glad to find that. I usually have pretty good luck in December with just finding, Hot Wheels and stuff in general. and that's pretty good because usually that's about the time when um, what am I trying to say here? When there's like dry spells, of course, by then, Sam's Club and everything, all those places are cleared out of their 118 scale stuff. And at that point, I usually have everything I want. Um, yeah, that kind of brings me to my next point. This is kind of turning into a channel update video, but that's what these things usually do. The kind of final for now 118 review is coming up actually this weekend. A few of you can probably already guess what that is. Um, it's the Lexus LC by Almost Real that I unboxed last week and uploaded last week. I finally got around to filming the review of that. I have a lot of editing to do with that video because one, it's going to be the last one for a while. Not the last video in general, but the last 118 scale kind of individual model review video for a while because there's not really anything else that I currently really want or need in 118 scale, and I really don't have that much space anymore. So there's those two things. And I'll probably say this again because I know these live videos get kind of buried. I'm going to definitely do that kind of end of the year wrap up video, which I usually upload around, I think, the 30th of December, 9 times out of 10. I guess I'll film. Yeah, what I usually do is I have all the 118 scale cars that I got from the second half of that specific year on the bed here, which I'm filming right now. And I just kind of say, like, here's all the cars I've gotten. And then I kind of give details on what's happening with the channel that following year. There's definitely some things that I said I would do this year that I didn't do, like the brand review series, where I would take a bunch of like representative models from a certain brand in 118 scale. Like I would get 4 Maisto models, for example. Like, here's 3 right here. I wouldn't probably feature these specific 3. Well, maybe this one, this Mercedes 500 SL, was definitely an example of their earlier work and how it was kind of like the precursor to more detailed budget models, but I never got around to it doing those. They would have definitely been more complicated between getting all those models out from storage and just figuring out like what I'm saying about the brand in general. And it wouldn't have just been about 118 scale cars. I would have probably talked about like 124th cars, 124th scale cars and stuff like that too. But that's just how that would have been in terms of, I think I just cut off for a second. Anyway, yeah, but the brand review videos would have definitely been kind of complicated to kind of do. I do still want to do them. I just didn't get around to it for this year, unfortunately. I'm thinking for those I'll do like Maisto, Barago, Welly, and Motormax for sure. Kind of review those brands in general, what I like and don't like about them, because I already have some things I'm thinking about right now for all those brands. And this one's a Nora. If you guys know about my Maybach that I bought. When did I buy that? Oh yeah, fall 2021 for congratulations for. Oh no, I'm sorry. Fall 2020 I got that car. Jeez, it's been really a while. I think that was like a congratulatory gift for myself for getting through the last several months prior to that and for beginning my graduate program. So, um, yeah, I love this thing. Cote de Jour Blue is what the color is called on the real version of this. Maybach S650 Cabriolet. So, very cool. I'll probably show more of this stuff off when we get some more people in. We only got 2 people in so far. Thank you both for joining, whoever you are. And of course, the Hot Wheels hunting videos will never stop, probably. I'm always going to find a reason to dig around dump bins and just look through pegs at stores and whatnot, just to look for new cars. Because obviously these are much smaller than the 118 scale cars and everything, so... This delay really is distracting me. And of course, Hot Wheels hunting videos will never stop, probably. I'm always going to find a reason to dig around dump bins and just look through pegs and stools. And see, this is why I always mute, because then if I keep listening to myself with that delay, I'm going to think that it's just bizarre. So I only have this going because I like looking at the comment section here, which you can see is sadly empty, but that's what happens when I do these things, last minute. I may even change, I always kind of did it like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that was when I was generally available to do them. I might switch them over to Mondays, This will probably be the last live stream I do for this year, and we are less than a month away from the new year anyway, so I don't think that's really a big deal per se. Um, yeah, I'll definitely have the end of the year wrap up and 2023 preview video. But I don't know, that won't be a live one. There's just too much that can go wrong with those types of videos for having it in like a live sort of environment, I guess is the right way that I'm trying to say it. Um, so I didn't want to, you know, pursue that really. Um, and actually, oh, I was surprised to find these actually at Big Lots. A few cars from that second series of the 54th anniversary. Vehicles, models, I don't know what to really consider them. Cars, we'll say, because they are cars, obviously. But these, there was like a first wave, I should say, of like 5 or 6 of these blue and pink cars, and the second wave I think came out a few months after that, I want to say. And then I didn't really see them anywhere. I found the first whole set actually at CVS, and I was thinking that the second set would turn up there as well, but they just weren't turning up there. And I kind of forgot about that whole second wave entirely. I didn't get all 6 cars. I got 3 of them. One's actually in the display case right now. But I think it's kind of cool that Hot Wheels is sort of continuing this. I think they already released, or not released, they previewed what the 55th anniversary cars are going to look like. I already forget what color scheme that they were going for. This one's probably my favorite so far. Just the metallic blue and that pink just work well together. I'm actually getting out my super long charger now because once again I forget to actually charge my phone before I do these things. That just shows you how disorganized I can be sometimes. Yeah, this should reach all the way to... Yeah, this should reach all the way to the wall here. Close that in. I think we're charging. I didn't hear the acknowledgement click or the acknowledgement beep. Yeah, look at this thing. Oh, well. So, oh, I forgot to put these back in our lineup here. Yeah, I got all these in the back here recently from like Giant, Big Lots, and Dollar Tree. I got these 3 from Dollar Tree. Everything's up now in price in general. I mean, Dollar Tree is pretty much $1.25 tray at this point. Not even with just Hot Wheels, but with everything. And I think at Giant they're up to maybe like a dollar something a piece. They're 4 for $5, so you can probably do that math and figure out. If you divide up, it's like $1 something per car. So, and I think Walmart's definitely no longer at 94 cents for these cars. That's how much they were charging way back when, before inflation. But this probably would have happened sooner or later. It's not going to like deter me from getting. Definitely is going to deter me from getting more of these than I would because of the increased prices. But I know some people are kind of bothered by that. I know I certainly am, but it's just how things are now, which sucks, but whatever. We all deal with it. This Bronco, though, from Maisto Fresh Metal, is actually pretty cool. 66 Bronco, I want to say? Yeah, 66. They have a few other, I think, interesting recent releases from Fresh Metal. Wish you could take this top off. That would be kind of cool. But it seems like only Dollar Tree has these single Fresh Metal cars. I was kind of surprised. I think at Five Below you can find the 5 packs of these, and I know Walmart sells them too, in like the multi packs. But aside from that, you can only get the single Fresh Metal cars at Dollar Tree, which I found to be a little bit odd. And they're always like cleared out there. I'm surprised actually how popular these things are there, because Dollar Tree usually has. It seems like a lot of people find like their Hot Wheels treasure hunts at Dollar Tree and stuff like that. I haven't found anything there yet. All my treasure hunts I found either at CVS or I'm Giant. I think a lot of people with collecting these Hot Wheels cars gravitate towards, like Walmart and Target and places like that to find them. And while they are definitely there, I feel like the treasure is, treasure hunts and like literal, like popular castings that you would find just cleaned out from Walmart and Target are definitely more prevalent, I think, at like grocery stores and like pharmacies. Haven't really checked Walgreens. There's some I think around me. I don't know what they. I know that they definitely carry those cars, but I don't know what they have in terms of like recent cases and stuff or what. Um, I forget what case. Like this Tesla here is fairly new, I think, in terms of release. The silver Tesla Roadster. It's actually pretty cool. This was actually initially released in the Hot Wheels ID line. We all know what happened with that. That was pretty much doomed from the start because of the pandemic, and then of course prices for those went up, and then yeah, just there was that final I think release of a few. I forget what the case number or case name was for those. It had that. It had the Tesla Roadster. It had the Automobile Pininfarina Battista and a few other ones. Oh yeah, the Lamborghini Aventador. And man, on eBay those things go for a ton of money. Um, I have, I think, and the ID app still works. I don't use it as much. I really should though, because at one point it did actually stop working. So I ended up re-downloading the app. It didn't save my race progress, but when I rescanned all my cars, um, like the ID cars that have like the NFC chips on the bottoms, all the progress of each of the cars was saved. Like the chip will keep track of how many races you do for a specific car. Like for this Corvette here, it has its own unique chip. So when you scan it, it'll tell you like, oh, this raced in this many races, or this was the top speed that, you know, I made it go in a given race. So yeah, this is from the early days of the pandemic, this Jaguar. This is from right before, and this is early days. This was like February. I got this Corvette around the time when ID was going to be like stopping. Oh, here's the Batista. I mentioned the Batista. The ID line had like a white version that was like released as part of that like final case that literally nobody got. I don't know. I think a couple of just online diecast retailers got the last few of those, however many they were made. There wasn't too many, and then Hot Wheels just kind of axed the whole line, which is unfortunate. But seeing that they, I guess, invested all that, money into making these NFC chip cars, I'm sure they'll come back again sometime in the future. Maybe not these exact castings, but you know. And it's funny, all four of these are available as regular Hot Wheels castings, and I actually have the regular Hot Wheels casting versions of all four of these. I just now noticed. Wow. But in terms of newer ones, this Oricon's newish. These two are very recent, the Bugatti EB110 SS and the Automobile Pininfarina Battista. I got those recently from CVS, actually. I went in spontaneously and then I found them there. This Nissan Skyline from the 54th anniversary set. That's a newer one, or a new one too. I should say I got that from Big Lots, of all places. And it was not trashed like it was that one time in September where I went. I've had this flatbed for a fast bed hauler for a while. I just never put it up in the case. I guess that counts as something different for here. And you guys know I love these two wagons, my Dodge Aries and my Citroen. What is it, XM? Something, I forget what it's called. I did find the Nissan Maxima drift wagon at Giant, so I definitely. Oh no, that was actually from CVS. Scratch that. I I was shocked to find that. Very happy nonetheless. And then my Datsun. That's not new, but it's worth showing. Then we have those two Matchbox moving parts cars down here. I got those two sets of 6 moving parts cars from um I th- where did I get them from? I think we froze up here. There we go. Sorry. Okay, so we have the two moving parts cars, the Amazon exclusive sets, these are two of the six that came in the one pack, and then I got that other pack of six. Was shocked to find those, but I was glad nonetheless because Walmart supposedly has the individual like cars, but they're never there. So I was glad to find those. Some old Matchbox I never had up here, but before, and this top row. You guys have all seen these. Nothing new really over here. The Fast Fish, which is a popular fantasy casting, that's a new one. And also this Joker car in the very back here. That's a newer one too. These majorettes I think I might have had in the case in the past, but they are down there. That's a tow truck. It's just hard to see right there. But yeah. And we got to move our advent calendar to, I think, the 10th now. I do have a bit of holiday festivity stuff up here. Same as last year. I didn't really change a whole lot. The Nutcracker is back to being on that side. I had these light up trees, which are powered by these batteries. Pretty cool. That Lego Santa. Let's turn this on. Yeah, they're actually pretty cool. I don't turn them on too much because they take those like weird like watch batteries, and you know how they're kind of hard to come by. I got I think 2 packs from Amazon last year, so these trees have a few years in them I think of sporadic lighting, so happy about that. I gotta add a third car here. It's like a mess. I didn't really put one there, but I got 2 over here. The Jag and the Corvette from Maisto. And down here we have the 118 Thunderbird from Maisto as well. So this is that show car, or this is that auto show model. It came in that like special branded Thunderbird box. Apparently when they first unveiled the concept at whatever auto shows they had at the beginning of that year, in 99 is when it was, they gave out these like press kits where you had like this 118 scale model. There was like a CD with like, I think screensavers and stuff on it. And the actual like press release packet that talked about the concept. So, yeah, very cool. Doors are still stiff too. I don't get out of the box too often. I think I only paid like $40 for this. I was shocked because they go for a lot more a lot of times because they are from the auto show press kit bags, I guess I should call them. So, hey, what's up? But yeah, this one does have the steering and everything too. Just got some random other little Christmas things here. These 2 elves and all this other stuff. Got the snow globe. Always loved that. And then some Tamikas just posed down here. I have to switch these out. They've been sitting down here for a good 3 or 4 weeks now. I do clean these up. I dust them off and everything, but I definitely have to switch them with other cars. Just for some variety, I suppose. And I got a Mercedes theme going on up here. I got the 2 or 3 Maestros, I should say. The 500 SL, the Vision SLR Roadster concept, which is a pretty model. The SLK with the working roof, and the Norev Mercedes Maybach S650 Cabriolet with the top that comes off. Love that one. I think they don't make these. They don't make any of these models anymore, which is kind of sad. They were all pretty cool when they were out. But that's the current theme up there, I guess. And unlike last time, I did actually switch these out before I streamed. The last 2 times I did this, I kind of used the stream as an excuse to to switch things out right on the spot. I've got the red convertible a little while ago. Yeah, so did I. This is actually a Christmas gift from my parents 2 years ago. Oh, that mine's silver. Oh, you have the silver version. Okay. Yeah, there's actually, in addition to the different colors, there's actually 2 versions of this model. There's a version that you get the working roof, and there's a version where you don't have the working roof. So, and the way you tell is if the car has the 2-tone seats, which this one obviously does, then that will have the working roof. If it has the all gray seats and interior, it won't have the working roof. So, but I think the details aside from that are the same for both versions. Yeah, mine's a working convertible. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they are super cool. Even cooler is that BMW 325i convertible with that fabric top, which I also have. I just don't have it out at the moment. You don't really see too many of these first gen SLKs. I've been eyeing that BMW up too. Yeah, I happened to get mine for a surprisingly low price in I think December. Yeah, December of 2020. Actually, it's been 2 years. I got it. Yeah, I got it. I think the first of that month, and then ended up coming on Christmas Eve because there was all those like delays with like mail and stuff that year. That was crazy. Um, but yeah, if you can find that for a good price, if it's like under $50, then definitely go for it. Any color really too. I have the white version with the black top. I think all the colors look good. Um, Although I know some people say that the seats are like Laffy Taffy looking because they're like so bright red, they're almost like pink. So that's how that 2014 Corvette seats look for that white. Um, for the earlier versions of that Maisto 2014 Corvette that they made with the red interior, the seats were like almost pink looking. They weren't that great. Um, I feel like my white 2014 Corvette from Maisto might have that same issue, but I wouldn't say that they're like bright pink. They're like a bright red, I would say, that are almost pink. So, yeah. I did find a couple of holiday themed, like Hot Wheels makes those like winter cars or that like winter series each year. I think it's like 6 cars per set. So these are the winter 2021 or 2022, sorry, cars. Land Rover Series, what is it, Series 3 pickup? Yeah, Series 3. And the Geoterra. And there's like a whole bunch more of these. I just got these two. That's what they had in the store. And I thought, I got 2 last year from the previous series. I'll get 2 for this year. I'll probably continue that trend as long as Hot Wheels keeps making these things. Then, of course, we got the pedal car. I really wanted to find the Toyota and Chrysler. Oh, yeah, there is those two. I already have the Pacifica, um, not the winter version, but the version that Hot Wheels initially released, where it says like Hot Wheels on it. But yeah, the Toyota, I do want to find that. But yeah, we'll see if they turn up a giant again. And here's this pedal car from 2018. This is from Walmart, I'm pretty sure. This is like holiday themed. And the Rockin' Santa sled, where he like moves around when the car rolls. I always thought that was pretty cool. That's had like 3 or 4 different colors at this point. And then we have the Matchbox Holiday 5-pack. This is from actually 3 years ago now, 2019 I got this set. Be like the Mustang, the Mini, the Beetle, and then the Ford F-150 Lightning concept, and then whatever this thing is, some kind of dune buggy sort of deal. But yeah, very cool. And over here we have the red tray. Pardon the mess there. I have this wooden sled. I put it on top of my Hummer pickup. I thought that looked pretty cool. And then the Chevy SSR, one of the strangest cars from the 2000s. I hung a couple of wreaths off the side mirrors, but I've always liked these things, just because I guess they're so strange looking, maybe. I don't know. And then I got a few of those smaller Hallmark cars hanging up from the tree here. Like here's the Thunderbird. That was the most recent one from last year. I think this year it's like a 63 Corvette or something like that. So thought that was pretty cool. I have more up here too. They're just all hidden away. Because, that's how ornaments get on trees. You don't really, like once you hang it up, it's like, you went way more into decorating than me. Looks very nice. Oh, thanks. We're into decorating here for sure. This tree's actually close to 20 years old now. It keeps shedding stuff each year, but I figure as long as it's still standing somewhat, we'll keep it. Of course, we got all the trains too. I don't really show those too often. I gotta dust these guys a little bit. They're okay for this video, but I gotta dust them off. And yet another tree with all different things on it. I always like getting the Hallmark. Have you gotten any Solitos? The only Solito I have right now is the 118 Solito McLaren 600 LT. That like metallic purple one that they released. I think it's in a couple of other different colors too, but I have that. They're okay, I think, in general as models, but the lack of opening features kind of get to me a bit, I think. But that one in particular, I think, is a good model. But I just got a few random diecasts hanging up here. This is a Cadillac Concept, and then we have the Superbird that was from last year. Yeah, I did that review a little while back. That Hot Wheels one up there. Yeah, cool stuff. So I still gotta hang some of these up. These are those Meister ones that I got recently. They're not gonna be sitting here like that. I might hang them up on this tray, but this one's like at full capacity. So I'm picking up the 850i from Solito. I think it looks much better than the Meister one. It does not cost a fortune. I didn't know that they made the 850i. I'm sure you're right. It probably is better than the Meister version. I really wanted a 118 model of the most recent or the current 8 Series coupe or convertible, but I think only Norev makes it, and it only comes in one color, and it doesn't have a full and it doesn't fully open. So I wasn't a fan of that. In fact, the only current BMW I really even like is the 8 Series and maybe the Z4. Unlike most other people, where I look at the current BMW designs and I'm like, okay, let's go back to 2012 when they at least looked remotely good. See, I knew at that point I was done getting 118 on BMWs when I saw how recent BMW models looked, and then from there it was like, all right, we're gonna slow down in general because I really have everything that I really want at this point. So, but yeah, we'll have that 118 Lexus review coming up soon. That one is going to be a longer video because it is an upper end model by Almost Real, and they don't joke around with that, with naming their company that, because their models really are almost real, except of course their models are not the real cars, but they pack in all these different details and features. They really knock auto art like just completely out of the way. And I still don't get that whole like composite thing where it's like, oh, it's not diecast, it's made of composite, which apparently is just a youth. Have you seen the new M4 CSI? Yeah, I think so. I don't know, they keep releasing all these new ones and I get them all like mixed up and stuff, and I've just been kind of ignoring them in general because I find their designs to be like just weird. But I think, yeah, I have seen that one. They have pretty cool paint colors at least going for them. I think I'm thinking of the M2. I like the M2, even like the redesign for, I think it's 2023. That one looks okay. I prefer the outgoing M2, but yeah, the one that's incoming is passable, I would say. It doesn't look awful like the other M series cars are. CSL. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I think you had a lowercase l. I thought it was CSI, like CSI Miami. Yeah, the CSL. I have seen that. Yeah, and there's been like no like budget models of BMWs released for like a long time. Excellent selection of cars, Nick. Oh, thanks. So we're talking about these here. Yeah, I literally just happen to have all these out because I recently got them, and then usually they just sit on my bed for like days at a time because I'm like, do I store these or do I put them in my display case? And then these I actually do have out because I do want to put them out because they're all holiday themed, well, except for these two. They were just in the case, but on a previous trip, and then I had to take them out. So yeah, these will all be seen in an upcoming Hot Wheels video shortly. Not as in shortly like tonight, but shortly as in like next week. So it's weird. You have like these dry spells throughout the year, and suddenly it's like, oh, everyone's restocking. They made the CSL look good, but it cost 700,000. They're only making 50. Insanity. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you on that one. I already have models of all my favorite BMWs. The M6 from like the mid 2010s, the 3 Series convertible from the early 90s, the 5 Series F10, which was like 2010 through 15 or 16, the X6M from like 2011 or 12, and then the Z8. Um, I think I'm probably missing one or two. No, that's all of them. I'm pretty sure. They're the main ones that I like in terms of recent, cars from them. And again, I do love the current 8 Series and Z4, and I have actually Kinsmart models of those. They're like pullback scale. But in terms of big scale, no, there's nothing really out there for those two. Plenty of resin models in general, but I don't really see the point in spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a model you can't even open. They do look beautiful. I mean, they really do. A lot of those resin models, especially from like, what's it called? BBR or like GT Spirit. But it's like, I like to open everything. The fact that you can get fully opening diecast from like wholesale clubs for like less than 20 bucks is, a deal breaker. Plus, if you can't get it in big scale and for a price you want, or in general, it's always going to be available probably in on smaller scale. You're not going to see, Renault vans in 1/18 scale, for example. It's so weird, like thin plastic. I hate model glass on resin models. I feel like they're just brittle in general. Like, I'd be afraid to even touch them, if that makes any sense to you guys. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's like those auto art composite models. Like, they look really good in pictures, but then apparently, like, they're just super lightweight and they're not really, you know, just that good. I mean, the fine detailing is there, but everything else is just, no. Meanwhile, that diecast Lexus LC, speaking of auto art, who makes the LC in their 1/18 scale line, is like the heaviest model I have. It's like a giant, it's like a cinder block. But the real car is pretty much a giant cinder block. Lexus didn't want to do any weight saving to it because they wanted to pack all their luxury, materials and everything into it. It wasn't meant to be a fast car by any stretch of the mind. It was meant to be a luxury high end coupe, which is exactly what it is. Um, there is the convertible too. See, I was waiting because I wanted to see if somebody made the LC500 is gorgeous. Yes, it is. I totally agree. You hardly ever see any because they're so expensive, but you know, yeah, they're amazing. They're like works of art, like seriously. Amazing cars. Yeah, I was kind of waiting to get a 1/18 of the LC because I was waiting until somebody made a 1/18 scale model of the convertible. But then I realized they're probably not going to make a 1/18 scale model of the convertible, unfortunately. But all the coupes are out there. I shouldn't say all the coupes are out there. Several different upper end brands make the LC coupe in 1/18. I think it's Auto Art, Almost Real, and Mini Champs. I want to say the Mini Champs version is not great at all. The Auto Art version is, of course, composite, and the Almost Real I think is the best bet. But they're kind of a little bit hard to come by. And like if you get any Almost Real models, you're gonna have to get them through eBay, and they usually are gonna be coming from, China or somewhere in that region. So the wait will be a while, but in the end, it's worth it because they have lots of kind of obscure models as well. I think the heaviest 1/18 model I've got is this 1/18 dealership Ford Edge from China. Oh yeah, that's probably by Paudi model or something. Paudi. That'd be cool to have an Edge in 1/18. My neighbors have an Edge. Oh, it's a white one. I think it's a 2018 or 19 model or something. Yeah, I was into like the recent Fords, like the Fusion and ironically the Taurus, and the Edge. There's not really any models of, everyday cars like those. And if there are, then they're usually, like you said, like a dealer edition model that's like exclusively available somewhere or is just really expensive and hard to find. The packaging is all wood. Wow, okay. Only 60 on eBay. Oh yeah, I would have gotten that too if I had seen that. Wow. That's something like unique right there. Lincoln's too, because Lincoln's part of Ford. I actually consider getting a 118 Lincoln Continental, the most recent one from like the late 2010s and like into 2020. But then I decided on getting the LC instead of that. I love both those cars in real life, like dearly. Um, but I figured like, the LC, I was kind of thinking of getting that one longer than the Continental. Both are rare sights on the roads today. But yeah, dealer edition models are interesting. I'm definitely going to be this Thunderbird technically is one because they did have a dealership version. Of course, Meister released this for like the general public to buy, but at first they released it just to be sold in like Ford dealerships and at a couple of select auto shows when the model was like first unveiled. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. I'll probably do a video where I showcase all like my promotional and dealer edition 118 models because by now I have several. I have this Thunderbird. I have that Maisto Lexus. Um, the SC 430 convertible, and I have that Maisto Mary Kay Cadillac. I got that Lexus LC, that Honda Civic. Yeah, I have several. I can definitely do a video that showcases those. That's something else I didn't do this year was the diecast videos. I got the Thunderbird in the same color, although it's the topless version. Yeah, Maisto did a weird thing where they released this where you could remove the roof. In this case, you can on here, where the roof was fixed in place or no roof at all. You probably have the no roof at all version. This one has the tonneau cover underneath the top. So when you put the top on, you also put on the tonneau cover. There's actually a separate tonneau cover that goes on if you take off the hard top. This goes on over that space. I also have the O2 version, the O2 production Thunderbird model that Maisto made. And really the only difference is that the O2s had the turn signals on the front and the rear and the third brake light. Aside from that, they were the exact same car. And of course, the yellow didn't make it to production. A different yellow did. So there's something to make note of there. At this point, I kind of forget what I said in terms of like channel announcements. I'll probably save that. Are you thinking of adding any 118 Subarus to your collection? Not at this time. Smaller scale, definitely, but not in that scale. I know that there's some out there that I would probably like, but it'd be cool to get maybe like a cross track in any scale. That would be something I would um, consider. But aside from that, like no, not really. Oh, these Tamikas are Subarus down here. I have the Forester and then the Impreza. Solidum in a 22B, and I bought that too. Oh, they did make that. Yeah, Solidum really releases a lot of interesting stuff, but the Subarus I only have like maybe 5 or 6. They're all Matchbox sized, and they're all made by Hot Wheels or Tamica. I have 3 Hot Wheels Imprezas, and these 2 Tamica ones. Oh, 3 Tamicas. I have the BRZ, which isn't here, but these 2 are here. So I have 6. And then meanwhile, for Hyundai Kia, I only have 1 Hyundai and 2 Kia models in the whole house. It's a Hot Wheels Tiburon for the Hyundai and 2 Hot Wheels Kia Stingers. So, oh, and these 2 from last year, these winter cars. Got the Charger and then the Escort rally car, which I swore these wheels glowed in the dark, but they're just the painted white wheels. Hot Wheels does make cars where the wheels glow in the dark, though. They're actually very cool. Yeah, the one like glows in like my display case. I don't have it up there right now, but they have a literal like glow wheel series. This one though, I don't even remember what the car's called. It's one of those like weird fantasy cars. The whole top part's like clear glow in the dark plastic, and the wheels are. So if you had enough, it would make like a nightlight for you. um, I used to not really get fantasy cars, but then I sort of saw like how cool they really were. And then usually if like dump bins were cleaned out or if I'd already gotten all the real license castings I wanted, I would go for like the fantasy cars. I mean, there's been some weird ones over the years. I even have a whole fantasy car row. Oh, you know what? This one here is glow in the dark wheels. Of course, they're not going to be glowing right now, but the trick if you want it to like really glow is you hold it over like a light or like a light bulb. Not, of course, touching it, but just hold it up. Then the light, I think, gets absorbed into the glowing component, and then it glows more. It's like magic. I don't know how the hell it works, but yeah, I already said I have Fast Fish, and this is the Motosaurus ID Chase car that I found from Giant. I found all my good stuff at Giant over the years. I feel like grocery stores are kind of underrated spots to get Hot Wheels from, and that Joker car there. But yeah, I always save room for fantasy cars in this case here. Oh yeah, the fast bed hauler counts too, even though it's based off a real-ish truck, I would guess. I don't know. But yeah, cool stuff. Oh, Twin Mill too. That's also a fantasy casting. Oh, and can't forget the car shaped like a train. What is this even called? Locomotorin. This is that weird one where it was like the Thomas the Tank Engine deco from I think last year, and now it's this like kind of all gold with like gold wheels and stuff. It's very cool. But yeah, not really too much else to talk about aside from all those things I showed and just those few little upcoming things. I finally been able to find that 4.0 Maisto 911. Oh, is it the... Oh, cool. Yeah, there's that 2022, a Porsche 911. That one was kind of hard to find. There was like that black version that supposedly came out, but then I never saw it anywhere. But I think some of you guys found it at like Costco and stuff. And now Hot Wheels is kind of copying Maisto, where they released their own Shark Blue Porsche 992, and now they're releasing their own black version of that car. So I thought that was interesting how they did that. Happy to see Maisto back doing Porsche models. They weren't doing those for a long time either. They just got to get back into BMWs now, although recent BMW models, as we already talked about, have been bizarre, so I don't know if I don't know if I'd really like want to see those in big scale. Oh, it's matte black. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I already have the blue version, so I'm not going to get the black version for the Hot Wheels. Maybe I'll just... I do want to see it at least, because I'm sure it looks cool. Yeah, 2023 cases are already showing up in stores. At least in my area, these stores are usually behind a case or two, but I don't really mind that because I think most people who really want the cars from said case got them like from other places, and then when they drop at, the local stores, then by that point, like the hype's died down a bit, and then I find them and I'm like, ooh, add those to the collection. What have I not mentioned about here? Oh yeah, I have Roger Dodger and then this Austin Healey right here. I think I'm the same LOL. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people are. What have I not shown off yet? Oh, this Renault van, I kind of mentioned that. This weird MG coupe. These are from Dollar Tree along with the Bronco. MST Suzuka. This is one of those art cars. I always gravitate to the art cars because they're weird looking and cool. And the Baja Beetle. Always like these chopped beetles or like the monster truck beetles. They're weird but really cool. Oh, and this Range Rover with the covered windows in the back. Expedition. So, yeah. Do you have any M2 car? like M2 machines or whatever they're called. No. Man, if I got into those, that would be a whole other like addiction too. They have those like what, those like chases and stuff like that. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're just out of my price range, I think. I don't know of any other store that has them aside of Walmart. Does Target carry them? I think they might. M2s are okay. Yeah, I don't really understand the hype for them, but they're kind of like that it's like I think Auto World. Yeah, Auto World. Their quality is questionable sometimes. Yeah, that's like Auto World and like Greenlight too. They're more expensive, but sometimes like Greenlight's wheels aren't always that great. Um, you know, and then their paint is usually okay, but sometimes you see like some bad batches here and there, which is unfortunate. But yeah. All right. Well, in terms of future streams, I'll probably jam in one more this month. I didn't do one last month. I usually do it like the last weekend of the month. Yeah, they are more consistent, I think, for sure. I don't really pay attention to their stuff too much. Although I do want that Dodge Stealth, that green Dodge Stealth. I have the Ertl promotional plastic Dodge Stealth. It would be cool to have like a Hot Wheels or Johnny Lightning or whatever. A Hot Wheels scale version, I should say, for like the collection. Dodge Stealth, aka the Mitsubishi FTO, or not the FTO, the 3000 GT. But yeah, I might do one more stream this month. I will do that annual, end of this year wrap up, beginning of next year preview at the end of. Is making first gen Dodge minivans, are they? I think that's cool, actually. So if I do find those, I will get them. I think models of minivans are cool because they're just weird to have models of. They were such an immensely popular vehicle back in the 90s, and SUVs just totally like took over from there, especially in like the 2000s. But yeah, I would actually want those if I do find them. Yeah, I'm gonna look out for it to come out anytime soon. Yep, me too. Thanks for letting me know about that. I don't really pay attention to the Auto World releases that much because I'm so focused on getting the Hot Wheels stuff. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't do too much damage to my wallet when I find them. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably do maybe one more stream this month sometime, probably towards the end of it. Um, in terms of upcoming videos, we'll have the Lexus the Lexus review. I did the unboxing already, so make sure you guys check that out. And I'll link the unboxing in the description of the review. A couple more Hot Wheels hunt videos probably, and I guess one more, and then maybe I'll take like a short break between Christmas and New Year's. And then I'll do that end of the year video in between that, and then we'll start off probably the new year with some more just Hot Wheels hunts and other fun stuff like that. And I will probably make a plan for those brand review videos that I failed to even think about doing this year. I love how I had this whole idea for them like last in January, and now here it is, the end of the year. Never did any of them. But I guess it is appropriate now since I've reviewed pretty much every model that I have to this day. So yeah, they'll be coming out. I'd say probably closer to like second, third quarter of the coming year. But I'll talk more about all this when I have that other video out. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much a wrap for all this. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all the displays I have out currently and everything, and some of the new stuff I've gotten in recent days. So yeah, thanks for joining us.